Hello Malaysia, hello world. Apa khabar? Apa khabar? Welcome to ECM Talk with topic for today, Know Your Conflict Resolution Styles. I'm Rajesh Shahrul, your host. The topic sure doesn't seem to say very much, but let me try to attempt understanding it. Here goes. Conflicts can arise at any time. How we utilize conflict resolution strategies depends on both our conflict style and our conflict resolution skills. There are many different ways to respond to conflict situations. Some conflict styles involve a considerate or cooperative approach, while other either a competitive or passive approach. The common styles of conflict are usually it's more direct, like avoiding the conflict, giving in, standing our ground, compromising, and collaborating. I have here with me Miss Aidatul Farah Hazwani Muhammad. I better call you Aida for short. A lecturer from a private educational institution. Apparently, there are other ways of approaching this topic for a discussion today. Anyway, let me start with Miss Aida. How are you, Aida?
Good, amazing.
Very good. I wish I could say the same about myself. Now, what is conflict and what is conflict management?
Okay, all right. Thank you for the question. What is conflict? There's so many answers to this. One person defined conflict with disputation, disagreement, or maybe just for you to vent certain negative emotion, for example. So that is conflict. In a simpler version, what is conflict? Conflict happens when you and me both, we're not on the same page. So that is conflict. Very simple. Like I said A, you say B, I say C, you say D, or A to Z. So just that. That is conflict. Very simple. But again, conflict is most of the time viewed in a very negative manner. Something that I personally don't agree with. Just like we have positive stress and negative stress, we also have positive conflict and negative conflict.
Okay.
Positive stress are the kind of stress that makes you move. It gives you adrenaline rush, for example. Negative stress are the kind of stress that makes you feel pressured, makes you feel sad, makes you feel anxious. Okay,
so how do you strike the balance?
To make it balanced is, for me personally, to get to know your stressor or the causes of your stress. The same goes with conflict. Conflict can be very positive. It can also be very negative.
Right.
Conflict is positive when it strengthens our relationship. So, for example, now we're having a conflict, and as we try to find a common ground, it's strengthening our relationship or our friendship in that sense. So that's a positive conflict. It gives positive effect.
But basically, it's all about communication, isn't it? On
True.
how you communicate,
True.
your style of communication.
True.
That
Exactly.
will get, as long as each other will get a message.
True.
And then,
True.
in a way, it will resolve the
True.
issue, or rather the
True.
problem.
Exactly.
Oh, interesting. Okay, what works and what doesn't work in a conflict? From your point of view. Yeah.
Okay, like you said just now, it's all about communication, right? It's all about communicating with one another. So for me personally, what doesn't work in every conflict is the moment you stop listening to others. So for example, when you start to yell, when you start to scream, that's when you're not going to be listening to anyone in that particular room or any party that is involved. So that can never be working in terms of conflict resolution. What work at that particular time is definitely for you to listen to others. A lot of us have this kind of mindset that, say for example, in an organization, as a leader, we have a mindset that we have to, always have the last say. As a leader, we always have to speak. We forget the fact that a leader, of all people in that particular room, a leader is that one particular person that should be listening more than to speak more. So what work? Listen. Listen to whoever that you're having conflict with.
Yes.
So that's how it goes.
Good. And is there a way to solve a conflict?
Okay, I would say many ways to solve a conflict. Whenever we talk about conflict resolution, the idea of resolving a conflict is to take your point of view in between of the person or the party that you are involving with and the issue at hand. So you have to be like, it's like this. It's like one towards the other person, the other one is about the issue. So which one is your focus? So for us in psychology, we know at least five techniques to solve a conflict. But there is no such thing as the best way. It depends on the conflict itself. So we have number 1, accommodating teddy bear. And then we have number 2, collaborating owl. Then we have competing shark. We have compromising fox. And we have avoiding turtle. I'll discuss with each and every animal first, okay?
The animal in you.
Correct, the animal in you.
Yes.
According to one of the most prominent psychologists, human beings are beasts, somehow or other.
It excites some people when you say that, Yes, anyway. Yes.
Hoping that doesn't go that way.
Yeah.
But I'll speak up of the first technique, which is accommodating teddy bear. Teddy bear are those people who focus so much on the members or the people. That's why some of us know teddy bear as people pleaser, because they take care of the people or whoever that they are having a conflict with. So they have higher tendency to put other people first than themselves. Like, say for example, I'm actually a teddy bear. In that sense, not by physical, but in conflict resolution.
I wasn't going there, but anyway.
In conflict resolution
Okay.
style. Say for example, we are having a conflict.
Yeah.
So as a teddy bear, I would always ask you first, like, what do you think? What do you want? Or how do you see this? Instead of asking what actually I want. That's why in an organization or in terms of students, for example, there are a lot of moments when teddy bear get bullied a little bit. Because they tend to focus more on other people instead of themselves.
Right.
So that is for teddy bear. For compromising fox, they are in between of the person and the issue at hand. Compromising fox or foxy technique is the best when you have no time. When the deadline is near. You should not be sitting down and discussing what are the options do we have, come up with creative solutions. We can't do that because we don't have time. So that is the best time when you do fox or foxy technique, where you
Talking about fox, why do people relate a statement saying a foxy lady,
or a sly fox in that sense.
A sly
Correct.
fox. Yeah.
There's a reason why, because in foxy technique, for conflict resolution technique, most of the time, at the end of the conflict, you will get to have not everybody satisfied with the answer. Because you're not sitting down and really discuss. Because you have to take measurement at that particular time.
Right.
So you'll get to have these people say bad thing about you afterwards, or you might as well have negative feelings afterwards.
Right.
So at that particular time, you have to be a little bit cunning at that time.
Cunning as a fox, that they say.
Exactly.
Yes,
So
yeah.
because you need to solve an issue. So at that time, you might be, say for example, there's 3 of us in this table. So we have one foxy and we don't have time. So what this foxy would need to do at that particular time is, number 1, pretend to listen to you, and pretend to listen to me. And then we don't have time. Let's just go towards whatever that he or she needs to be done at that particular time. For an example, so that can be done as well. So that is why it is not as compromising at that particular time. So that is foxy. And another one is avoiding turtle. I think that's one. It's quite clear cut, right? Because turtle, whenever it got scared, it hide into their house.
You're right.
So that is why it is known as avoiding turtle as well.
Okay.
Avoiding turtle are the kind of people, whenever they're in front of conflict, they tend to run or they tend to hide. We're not saying that avoiding turtle is a bad technique. No such thing. Above all the 5 techniques, there is such thing as good technique or bad technique. There are moments when you have to be turtle. For an example, say you have a fight with your parents. You should not be suddenly, be sharp and say, no, I'm not listening to you, for an example, right? So that is the best time when you, just let your parents win. So you avoid.
But people always associate turtle as being slow.
True,
And,
true.
you have to push to get to maybe to reach its mark.
True,
The race,
true.
perhaps. They always use
True.
turtle as an example.
True.
How does that relate to this? Yeah.
In conflict, right? Whenever one of the reasons why they're considered to be slow is because whenever they're in front of a conflict, they tend to either stop or they just run away at the back. They won't moving towards the issue or the conflict.
Okay.
So then at the end of the day, you're not solving anything. So that's why they're known as slow or this kind of like that. So in an organization or in a team, turtle will be having so much, in a way, problem. If not to say problem, it's like so many distress if they're working with shark. Because shark is that type of person who focus so much on the issue or whatever that is need to be solved, ignoring the members.
Not a good combination at all.
Exactly.
Turtle and a shark.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay.
So at that particular time, turtle will have high tendency to be, disregard in a sense.
Okay.
The shark will be like, I don't care what you feel. I just need this to be done. Not to say that shark is a bad technique, because there are moments that you need to be shark.
Okay.
For an example, when say each one of us, we have our own principle, right? So when something goes against your principle or against your moral conduct, you should not be turtle at the particular time, or you should not be teddy bear at the particular time. You should stand for yourself. So that's the best time for you to use shark as a technique.
So basically, there's no good or bad in terms of how they categorize you,
Correct.
in which animal you are.
True.
Yeah,
It's
that's-
about the conflict itself, the kinds of conflict and the value that you have inside of you. A lot of us in friendship, we tend to be a little bit more teddy bear or a little bit more owl,
Correct.
because we want to. They are precious to us, right? The friends.
Yeah.
So we wanted to treasure them. So we would not be as much of a shock in this particular situation, for an example. So no, it's not about which is the best technique. It's about the conflict itself.
Yeah. That's how you relate it. Yeah.
Correct. The same goes with stress. It's not about what is the best way to cope with stress. It's not that. It's never that. It's about getting to know what is the real cause of the stress.
Yeah.
That's how it goes.
Interesting.
Thank you.
Interesting indeed, everyone. We've heard from Ida how animals come into being, into this conflict resolution. Ida, once again, thank you for being here.
No
It was
problem.
interesting sharing with us. And until next segment, we will have Kenny Ng, a registered counsellor from a private counselling centre here in Malaysia. So stay tuned to our next segment. Thank you, everyone. See you again soon. Bye.